This video is intended to introduce the new Friamat 2 user to the safety features and basic operation of the Friamat 2 Electrofusion processor. It is not intended to certify any specific type of training necessary for the safe operation of the unit. The Friamat 2 is constructed using state-of-the-art technology in accordance with national and international safety codes and standards. Personnel must be trained, qualified, and follow the manufacturer's operating instructions. A protective carrying case is provided to assure protection during shipping, storage, and transportation to and from the job site. The Friamat 2 is designed to allow the operator to tilt the processor inside the frame. This feature allows operator ease in viewing the liquid crystal display. A locking lever allows the processor to be tilted to a convenient angle and locked into position. Always return the Friamat to the upright position and lock in place before returning the unit to the protective carrying case. Always turn the Friamat 2 off by using the master power switch prior to unplugging the processor from the power source. Failure to do so may result in damage to the internal circuitry. The power and electrofusion cables are stored by wrapping them around the upper frame. There is a Velcro retainer to hold the cables in place. Always unwind the cables completely prior to making an electrofusion. The power cable is furnished with a 30-amp twist lock plug. Do not remove this plug. Friamat recommends using power supplies that have a 30-amp receptacle. If your power supply is not equipped with a 30-amp receptacle, you may use a Marinco adapter plug available from Friamat. The use of an adapter plug will greatly reduce the size of fittings that can be installed. The electrofusion cable is used to attach the fitting to the processor. The lead ends can be placed on either fitting terminal. Adapter fittings are available from Friamat for the common electrofusion fittings used in the United States. Care must be taken to keep the lead ends and adapters clean and free of dirt and other substances that would inhibit the flow of electrical current to the fitting. The lead ends are swivel mounted to reduce wear and tear on the cable and connectors. The cable ends are field replaceable if damaged. The barcode reader wand is also attached to the electrofusion cable. The wand is stored in a pocket on the cable to prevent damage to the end. The reader wand must be kept clean to allow for efficient scanning of the fitting barcodes. Clean the barcode reader daily with a clean, soft cloth. If the operator has difficulty scanning a barcode and suspects a damaged reader wand, the operator can use the test code on the included barcode card to check the reader wand operation. Scan the barcode labeled Test. If the reader wand is functioning properly, a test code message will briefly appear on the liquid crystal display. Failure to receive the test code message indicates a possible faulty reader wand. If the reader wand becomes damaged, a replacement can be field installed. If the reader wand is inoperable, electrofusions can continue to be made by manually inputting the numbers found on the fitting barcode. Manual input of the electrofusion parameters is accomplished by first pressing the menu button until the emergency input message appears on the liquid crystal display. The second line reads Yes on the left-hand side, Proceed in the middle, and End on the right-hand side. Pressing the Start button will bring up a screen showing two lines of numerals. Use the Start and Stop buttons to move right and left, and the Menu and Info buttons to enter the 24-digit number from the fitting barcode label. Press the Set button to store the fitting code. Pressing the Reset button will cancel the entry. To start the electrofusion process, press the Start button. The temperature sensor continually monitors the ambient air temperature and updates the internal programming, thereby adjusting the electrofusion time cycle. Always allow the Friamat 2 to adjust to the ambient temperature prior to making an electrofusion. It will take extra time to adjust if the processor was transported or stored in a location where the temperature is different than the installation site, such as the cab of a truck in winter. The Friamat 2 is equipped with a 30-amp circuit breaker. The circuit breaker is intended to protect the internal circuitry from power surges. An audible signal is provided on the Friamat 2 to assist the operator in completing a successful electrofusion. The signal has an adjustable volume control, and this feature will be explained later in the video. The signal emits 4 different sound patterns which transmit the information to the operator. A single tone confirms that a barcode has been successfully read. 2 short tones confirms that the electrofusion process has been completed. A continuous tone indicates that the input voltage or frequency are out of tolerances. See the operator's manual for specific power requirements for the Friamat 2. 5 short tones indicate that a fault has occurred. A fault number will appear on the liquid crystal display. Pressing the Info button will give an explanation of the fault. Consult the operator's manual for an explanation of the causes and remedies. The volume level of the audible signal is adjusted by pressing the Menu button until signal volume is displayed. To set the volume, press the Start button once. The screen will display a 2-line message. The top line will state Signal Volume. The second line will display Loud on the left side and Quiet on the right side. By pressing the Start or Stop buttons, the operator can adjust the volume. Press the Start for a loud signal and Stop for a quiet signal. After you have made your selection, press Stop to exit the menu screen. The Friamat 2 is capable of downloading electrofusion data stored internally when the processor is used in the documentation mode. See the video on the advanced features for details of this capability. The data is downloaded through the printer interface port using either a parallel cable connected to a printer or by utilizing the FriaLEN memory box. The memory box is available separately and will retain 1,000 electrofusion records, allowing field downloading of electrofusion data. The current Friamat 2 software will hold 500 records. When the Friamat 2 memory is filled, it must be downloaded and deleted, or simply deleted, depending on your company preference. The liquid crystal display screen provides the following information to the operator: operating instructions in several languages, fitting confirmation, confirmation of completed electrofusion, cooling time, error codes, ambient temperature, required and elapsed electrofusion time, time and date, and power source output. The green Start button, as the name implies, starts the electrofusion operation. It also means yes when a question is displayed on the liquid crystal display. In advanced Friamat 2 functions, the Start button moves the cursor to the left 1 position each time it is depressed. The red Stop button halts the current electrofusion or operation. It also means no when answering a question on the liquid crystal display. In the advanced features, the Stop button moves the cursor 1 space to the right each time it is depressed. The Info button is used to display explanations of error codes that are displayed on the liquid crystal display. When utilizing the advanced features, use the Info button in conjunction with the Menu button to scroll through the alphanumerics in the options to be discussed later in this video and in the advanced features video. The Menu button is used to access the various features available to the Friamat 2 operator. Each time the button is depressed, an option is displayed. The Menu button is also used to scroll through the alphanumerics in the advanced features. The Set and Reset buttons are utilized when accessing the advanced features of the Friamat 2. The Friamat 2 is delivered with an accessory pouch on the back of the frame. This pouch holds the hand scraper and spare blades, operating manual, and test barcode card furnished with your Friamat 2. This is also a convenient place to store the optional fitting adapters for other manufacturers' fittings, marking pens, and other needed items. Now we will demonstrate the steps necessary to complete an electrofusion joint. Always follow your company's guidelines for personal protective equipment on the job site. Before making an electrofusion joint, ensure that you have a power supply that is operating between 95 and 135 volts, with a frequency range between 45 and 66 hertz. The maximum current required to fuse any Friamat electrofusion fitting is 30 amps. A 5 kilowatt-hour continuous duty-rated power supply is recommended. The Friamat 2 processor will operate between -4 and 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure that the power and electrofusion cables are completely uncoiled prior to making an electrofusion. If an extension cord is required, use only a number 10 3-strand cord for up to 100 feet. A number 8 3-strand cord is required for distances up to 200 feet. Extension cords should be equipped with 30-amp twist lock ends. Start the power source and allow it to warm up. If the generator is equipped with a high idle switch, it must be engaged. Run at high idle speed for at least 30 seconds before attempting to make an electrofusion. For inverter power supplies, a light bulb or other appliance may need to be connected to bring the inverter up to full output voltage. The Friamat 2 will only operate when the power supply is producing the required voltage and power. The input voltage and frequency can be checked at any time by depressing the info button on the Friamat 2. After the generator is warmed up, plug in the processor and turn on the master power switch. When the code message is displayed on the screen, remove the reader wand from its storage case and, holding it like a pencil, slightly inclined, place the tip on the fitting in front of the barcode. Pass the reader wand smoothly and quickly across the barcode. It is not necessary to press hard, only to maintain contact with the barcode. The barcode can be scanned in either direction. It is not necessary for the electrofusion cables to be connected to the fitting. The Friamat 2 will acknowledge that a correct barcode has been entered with a single audible tone. If the barcode is not accepted, scan the barcode again. You may have to adjust the angle of the scanner or change the speed that you move the reader wand. The Friamat 2 will scan any barcode that complies with ANSI or ISO standards, whether or not the cables are connected. This feature allows user flexibility when electrofusions are made in confined spaces. When the scanning is complete, return the reader wand to the protective pocket on the electrofusion cable to prevent damage. After the fitting is scanned, the liquid crystal display will indicate the fitting manufacturer, size, and type. Visually confirm that the fitting displayed matches the barcode scanned. Since polarity is not a concern, either cable can be attached to the fitting terminals. Connect the electrofusion leads to the fitting if they are not already connected. Use the appropriate fitting adapters if required. Press the Start button. The liquid crystal display will ask, "Pipe prepared?" If the pipe's surface and the fitting have been prepared according to the fitting manufacturer's installation instructions and is properly in place, press the Start button a second time to start the electrofusion process. The liquid crystal display will briefly show the ambient temperature, a check screen that is confirming fitting and barcode compatibility, the required electrofusion time in seconds, and then start the elapsed time countdown. When the electrofusion time has elapsed, the liquid crystal display will show End of Electrofusion and then display the required cooling time. Observe the melt indicator if one is present on the fitting. You should be able to observe a change in the appearance. Melt indicators only inform the operator that heat has been applied to the fitting. They do not show that a satisfactory electrofusion has been made. Disconnect the electrofusion leads. Friatek recommends that the operator write the time the electrofusion was completed and the cooling time on the pipe next to the electrofusion fitting, as a reminder of the cooling time for other operators on the job site. When making more than one electrofusion joint, press the Start button to restart the electrofusion process. Connect the new fitting, scan the new barcode, and press the Start button to start the electrofusion, or turn off the master power switch and move the unit to the next location. When using the Friamat 2, the operator must observe the following safety